They want to see me in red lingerie. They want to know what color my toenails are.
Oh, the foot fans.
Foot fans.
Yeah.
They're strong.
Yeah.
They are going strong. Would we ever go to a nudist beach?
You just sent me one.
I did. I sent you a nudist
Today.
beach. There's one in Florida.
Yeah, I had looked up how far it was. Live. Yes,
Oh.
we are live.
We're live.
We are live.
Back from, what's that couch called? The casting couch? No.
This is not the casting couch.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
From a kick-ass love story couch.
Yes.
With our two puppies. I'm the host, Paige Van Zant.
Yeah.
My 35-year-old husband, Austin Vanderford.
Yeah, but you know what? It's
What?
your birthday week now.
I know.
Yeah.
Mine's on, it'll be the day this comes out.
Yeah.
So,
oh, yes.
wish me happy birthday, guys.
Yeah. It's nice. You're old as a bag of milk now.
Thanks, babe. Thanks. Of course, it doesn't help. I see all these, like, is his name Bill Belichick or?
Yeah, Bill Belichick.
Him and his, like, smoking hot 25-year-old girlfriend. And I'm like, great, I'm getting older. And you're
I'm
going
to go after
a young child.
I just don't see that happening.
I don't either.
Who's the other the red hot Anthony Kiedis?
Anthony Kiedis.
Has a very
I
young
think his
girlfriend.
girlfriend's like 19.
Yeah.
And I was seeing that and I was like, dang, I don't even know if I can hang out with a 19-year-old or like keep a conversation.
Yeah. So okay, I get it. I get it, right?
What do you get about it? Tell me.
I mean, they're young.
Tell me.
Girl, like I mean, you know, Bill, but he was out like on the beach holding her up like an airplane.
Yeah,
and
you won't even do that for me. Maybe that's the secret. I need to get a sugar daddy.
I do. Whatever. I pop your back. I pop your back, like lift you up all the time.
The same thing as doing really fun, cute, acrobatic photo shoots. It's been a minute since you've.
It has, but yes, I have done a lot of the little TikTok
things. That was
not
more
my
in
favorite
our, like,
thing to do,
in our
by the way.
No, it's not. In our cupcake phase, when it's like when you're at the beginning of a relationship, you can basically get your man to do anything. And then as time goes by, they're like, oh no, I have this locked in. I don't need to do a thing.
Yeah. So the thing that would be really tough for me, you know, let's fast forward. I'm 65 and
I'm deceased and
well, don't put it like that.
That's the only way you would ever date somebody younger.
Okay, yes.
And have it not be me.
Yeah, something happened. You got in like a road rage.
I'll come for you.
You got in a road rage situation. You killed somebody. You went to prison forever or something. Something a little less like morbid.
That's far more morbid.
Okay. Well, at any rate, I would have a hard time spending every day with an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old.
If I went to prison and you divorced me,
yeah,
that's your fantasy.
No,
that's your fantasy. I get in trouble and go to prison, so you can date a 19-year-old.
No, that's not. That's not my fantasy. I'm saying I can't. Which leads us into the next thing. So It was my birthday weekend.
Okay.
So we had a nice dinner.
Yes, we did.
At Louis Bossi. We frequent
some Italian food.
Some good Italian food. And we wanted to go get a couple drinks after. So we decided.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Now we do know that it is spring break here in Florida for however much longer.
It's like the whole month of March.
Yeah,
so you pretty much just avoid the beach.
Yes.
At all costs, and then avoid certain places. But it was your birthday.
But we went to one of the certain places. So.
We did. And we were like, oh, let's go have fun. There's this like outdoor. The nice thing about Florida is because it's so beautiful and the great weather, there's a ton of like outdoor bars.
Yeah.
So it's like bars and then like in a whole outdoor area and a stage with music and this and that.
So we go to one of these places and we get in and we knew a friend or whatever. And so we get there and we get recognized by a couple people and want to take pictures and stuff. So this someone else recognizes us. He's like, hey, Austin, what's up? You actually know my dad. He coaches for the Jaguars. And I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And I won't say his name, but
you guys take a picture together.
Yeah, really cool motherfucker. Like the kid's dad. The
and
kid
you're
was
friends with his dad.
Yeah, we text back and forth and stuff. And anyway, so this kid, takes a picture, and I don't even know how it came up. Part of the reason I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get the kid in trouble, but somehow it came up. He did not look old.
No, and so we're like, how old are you? He was like 16.
He was 16 or 17.
Getting drunk in a bar. So after that situation, we take pictures and we're continuing on.
No, we took the picture first. He sent it to his dad. And then I was like, hey, how old are you? And then he said it. I'm like, great. You're sending your dad picture. Like, of course I had a couple drinks and I did not feel good about that.
No, because his dad's gonna be like, why are you out drinking with my 16-year-old son?
But he was in the bar.
Yes. And we did not go together. But then we're like looking around and we're like, oh my gosh, like we could be these kids' parents.
Yeah. So now I walk up to
you're just drunk enough to like walk up to another group of kids and be like, so how old are you guys? You're not in high school, right? And they're like, well, yeah, I'm 17.
Yeah, all these kids are at the bar, and by the way, once the second group told us that, we're like, okay, we gotta get out.
We're
of here.
leaving.
We're leaving.
But that's the bad part, right? So we're in Florida. It's spring break in Fort Lauderdale. Everybody's out drinking and having a good time, and you anticipate showing up to these places and the people being actually 21.
Yeah.
But do they not do a good job like checking IDs here?
I think there's just so many people, and I would imagine that the fake ID industry, the fake ID industry was good enough when I was younger. I would imagine is super good now, and which I did when I was younger. I had a fake ID, and it was it was one of my like older friends. It looked nothing like me, but it worked every single time.
So I had a friend of mine who I just used her ID.
Yeah.
And she, for whatever reason, would get new IDs from the DMV. So they were all real.
Yeah.
But me, her, and another girlfriend of mine all went to a bar. She was actually 21, but she was actually friends with my mom too. So my mom was totally cool with us, like all going out.
Yeah.
So all three of us in a row all used her ID and had the exact same picture,
all set, like,
same name, same everything, and all three of us went through, and they didn't even notice.
Crazy. I think I still have it got cut in half eventually, but I think I still have it somewhere.
Okay, this is funny. It's talking about being in bars underage, which I didn't do often.
Yeah,
I was a good kid. I was in the UFC when I was signed when I was 19. So I was on my best behavior from a very young age.
And I was in college when I had mine. So
yeah. And I am far more reckless now than I ever was as a kid. I was actually a really good kid.
Yeah.
Kind of. I do have some stories from high school.
Yeah.
Okay, but where was I going with this? Hold on, it's gonna come back to me. Bar. Oh yes. Okay, sorry. So that same friend.
Yeah.
Super fun. For whatever reason, she texted me and was like, hey, let's try out to be ring girls. And there was like this flyer and it was a ring girl competition in Reno, Nevada.
Yeah.
And I was like, screw it. Yeah. So I put on like this skimpy bikini that I had, but I was just like, I was 17. So I was very young to be going to this bar. Put my bikini on. And of course, it's like this dive bar, like a motorcycle club in the middle of downtown Reno. And so I'm like, okay, whatever, let's just go do it. So I put my swimsuit on, walking around with the cards, doing my thing. And who gets picked and who wins the contest? I do.
Unbelievable.
So the funny thing is we're in the bar though.
You're wrong for doing that too, because you were young and
yeah, but I went
like
just for the competition and then I went home. I didn't drink anything. I didn't try to drink anything. But what's
catfishing people?
Yes. So I'm walking around in a bar in my bikini with my ring girl sign.
17.
But I couldn't turn down the opportunity to go to these fights, right? And sit ringside, free tickets. So I'm walking around, and of course, there's one girl in the bar who was my ex-boyfriend's sister. And she went up to the bouncer and was like, she needs to get out of here. She's she's only 16 or 17. She's not 21. She shouldn't be in here, and just kept trying to get me kicked out.
Yeah.
They kicked her out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it all worked out.
Wow, another episode we're bringing up exes, huh?
I was 17.
Yeah, you're not getting off on, you gave me enough shit last
You
one.
have more exes than I do, and yours were longer terms than mine.
Yeah.
I dated very few men, despite what the internet wants to believe. Okay, so I end up winning and became a ring girl for, do you ever remember the shark fights?
No, I don't.
Okay, they came through Reno. I believe they were called the shark fights. Uriah Hall could have been on it.
Really?
I would have to go back and look. I feel like there was actually...
That was before my MMA time.
It was, yeah. So there was actually some pretty big names on the card at the time. But yeah, did my little ring girl thing. It was the first time I was ever a ring girl. Walked around. I looked super cute.
Crazy.
I was...
yeah, cute. 17. Cute. You were cute.
So, which come later, I then started doing ring girling when I actually... That was... Maybe that could have been before I even started training. No, I had already started training. So then I'm like, the local gym I was training at put on fights too.
Yeah.
And they let me be a ring girl for them too.
Didn't you? I do remember, not like crazy long ago, you would message Dana like, hey, I would be a ring girl for the UFC.
So
if you...
this is before I left the UFC. Actually, okay, so no. So I was ring girl a few times. Let me finish this story for this local card in Reno. And very few of the fights went to like the 4th and 5th round because they were championships fights or just main events. So I'm going up there and it's my turn to walk my little catwalk, and I'm holding up the sign and I'm like, yeah, feeling myself. And I could see my friends kind of like laughing.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, bitches. I'm like doing my thing. They told me later I had the sign upside down and backwards. So I walked the whole thing with the sign upside down.
Wrong.
Backwards. You couldn't even see the number. So then fast forward to the UFC.
That's a 17-year-old mistake.
That's a childish mistake. That's, not my fault.
Yeah.
So then fast forward to the UFC. I had broken my arm, of course, like 300,000 times. And I was recovering still, and I still couldn't be active.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to do something. Like, I want to be involved in the UFC more. I want to do more stuff because I couldn't train and couldn't fight.
Yeah.
So I did text Dana. I was like, hey, Dana, what do you think about me doing like a headline for like as a ring girl for one? He was like, no.
Yeah.
Not
Turned
happening.
Down. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
So we had some good fights over the weekend.
Dirty boxing. Yes, we didn't go.
No,
so
we
if you
ended up missing it.
to see us, we weren't there. Yeah. I got sick.
Yeah, and we had a lot of other things going on. The UFC card, the London card, which was earlier, but we'll just do the main event. Mm-hmm. Leon Edwards and Sean Brady. Sean Brady ran through Leon.
Oh my gosh.
That was crazy.
Yeah. You know what though is Leon's absolutely incredible, but I kind of... And you can't compare them because they're brothers. But when you fought Fabian, your wrestling was just so significantly dominant, especially against somebody who is so much taller than you.
Yeah.
And so much bigger than you.
Yeah, that motherfucker is big.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
And you were pretty much able to do the exact same thing. And it just gives you kind of a sense of what the camp is like.
Yeah, for sure. So in the fight, Sean Brady, it was in the second round. He achieved the most most control in UFC history. It was like 4 minutes 57 seconds. He went out, like, shot a double leg immediately, took him down, and just kind of put on a clinic on the ground. To me, it kind of looked like, and I know there was talk beforehand that Leon had a staph infection. And who knows if that affected his... I mean, I think Sean Brady was going to be able to do the same thing. I thought maybe Leon would get off a little more on their feet. Mm-hmm. And Leon's got really good takedown defense too. But Sean Brady was... he looks like a strong motherfucker and has good control and good mat awareness and stuff, and was able to dominate the fight.
Extremely dominant. Looking at the scorecards, I think I was shocked that only one judge gave a 10-8 round.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which I think is crazy. So my assumption too, so I've been told that a lot of the judges are basically, of course, they're appointed by the athletic commission.
Yeah.
But most of them don't understand fully wrestling or jujitsu. And
No, they
they
don't. You
don't
can tell.
understand
Yeah.
that controlling a grown man,
Yeah.
that's anybody. Controlling a grown man on the ground for nearly 5 minutes and being that dominant, how much of a feat that is.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy.
yeah, I truly believe that should have been a 10-8 across the board.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll move on from that to the dirty boxing.
And
which we did watch on on our phones.
We did end up watching it, and what did I say? Those elbows were gonna make a difference.
Andre
Arlovsky came in, nasty elbow, cut the guy open, fight's over.
Yeah.
And those elbows are going to be a game changer, especially when you're matching up MMA fighters versus boxers.
Yeah.
It's a completely different game as far as spatial awareness and what you're able to do on the inside, where boxers aren't necessarily going to be prepared and know that there's an elbow coming at your face.
Yeah.
Especially with little gloves. They can slip in anywhere.
Yeah. And I think the first one he landed, it was like he jabbed and then he went up with a lead elbow, like essentially in boxing, like a double jab. But on the second one, he comes up with the lead elbow, and that's kind of what started it all off. And it was perfect. It was actually really cool to see Andre out there doing that. He looked really good.
And it was cool to see their headliners were both men that were 46 or 47 years old. Like
Andre and
Yoel, and still both have like incredible performances and be like, exciting to watch and exciting to watch the fights.
Yeah, I thought the venue was cool from what I could see from the phone and stuff, but I love the ring, like the old school. It's like wood, all brown and stuff. It looks cool. So yeah, hopefully that gets to take off. It looked like the switch to a little bit smaller gloves made a bigger difference. I think there was a lot more finishes this one than the first. And hopefully people get excited and they make some fun matchups and get going on that. So but then part of the reason we didn't go to dirty boxing was March Madness, which I have
so much fun,
which I have talked about is the greatest sporting event of the year. My brother-in-law had a good weekend betting.
Oh my gosh. And you, of course, when you finally decide to jump in on the high of the bets, lose.
I lost. Yeah. So last night it came down to, and we were doing like big parlays. We were putting like 50. Actually, I did like a $500 8-leg parlay last night, and it came down to the final motherfucking game. And I am of course we lived in Oregon before, but I'm an Oregon Duck hater.
Yeah, I am too. I am born and raised in Oregon, and our family actively just like boo the Ducks.
Well, they turned me off when they cut wrestling. So
exactly. And I didn't come from a wrestling family per se, but being fans of the sport, we're bummed out.
But of course, for whatever reason, I listened to some people and I took Oregon to beat Arizona. So we're sweating this game out last night.
And they just let you down.
Yeah, and it was a win 11,000, and it came to all I needed was Oregon to win, and I think it was God telling he was because I'm such an Oregon hater. It was
Why'd you side with
poetic justice? Yeah, it sucked, but
someone in our family did good. They
my brother-in-law crushed it, and it was crazy. He hit Saturday night. He hit an 8-leg parlay for like $8,000 or something. So it was crazy. He had a big weekend.
So this brings me back to something that I wrote down. I thought it would be funny to kind of talk about our marriage, and how things have changed, or like if I knew all your red flags now when we first started dating, would I have stayed with you? And that's an interesting question.
That is, yes. Especially when we think about my suitcase has still been left open in the garage since your power slap.
We've been back from power slap for a while now, and your suitcase is still just laying right where I'm supposed to park my car.
Yes,
open, just for the world.
I go in and I pick a couple things out that were clean, or or maybe there was little things in there. I grab them, and I have yet to put my suitcase away.
So these are a few of your things. One, you don't unpack after trips. The suitcase just stays in the garage.
Yeah, but you know what? I pack for you before the trip, so that cancels all that out.
Which is really, really nice.
Yes, I help pack you because I know she hates packing.
I do hate packing.
Yeah.
But I hate unpacking more, and I do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you are better than me at that.
Yes. 2, fantasy football.
Yeah.
March Madness, that's an issue.
Really?
Sports betting.
Bullshit. You've had fun watching.
I've had fun. No. I didn't realize how much sports would be on my TV.
Yeah, that's true.
But I deal with
I didn't realize how much Sex in the City and the Mindy Project and all these.
Okay. I was like, hello.
Yeah.
I thought you were spilling some tea. I didn't know how much sex you'd be watching.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
You come home and surprise, honey.
Yeah.
No, fantasy football, Call of Duty. What are other ones? I don't know. I think those are your worst things.
My card collecting.
Oh my gosh, the card collecting.
Yeah.
Is so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
We got a card?
All right.
What has our life turned into?
What? Really? Okay, here we go.
We got handed
something. We're going to reveal it
card
on here. Okay, there's the cardboard protector.
Nice.
I'm hunting something specific.
So we've been hunting my one of ones.
I have a feeling it's a power slap. Let
me open it.
Yeah. I peeked a little bit.
Do you know what it is?
I know it's a 101.
Oh yeah, we got the yellow.
Oh really?
The yellow 1 of 1.
Dang. Okay, so that brings us to like 4 of your 101s.
Oh my gosh, of the 12 gauge 1 of 1.
Oh, let's go. Thank you guys.
Thank you. The money one.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, we got the 101 money Paige autograph 101. Let's go.
Not for sale.
Yeah, we're collecting these. Okay, badass. There we go. Card collecting. Let's go.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, talking about Power Slap. I don't know what I was talking about before. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now they're on Power Slap. These are so sick.
Yeah.
Their cards are incredible.
Yeah.
So you don't know this, but I was gonna do Power Slap, obviously.
Yeah.
And I am telling my mom, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing Power Slap. It's, Dana White's show.
Yeah.
It's in Vegas. And my mom was like, oh yeah, I'll come out. So she comes, she invites her friends, to come too.
Yeah.
And my mom's telling him like, oh yeah, I got you tickets. Yeah, it's called Slap Fest. I'm not really sure what it is, but Paige is slapping Dana White.
Yeah, that's right.
She's telling everybody that I'm going to slap Dana for like some promotional thing. So the whole time she's at my first Power Slap, she's expecting me to come out and slap Dana.
Really?
Yes, the whole time. So she's sitting there.
I remember her saying this, but I didn't really know that that's what she thought.
So I don't know when it like occurred to her. Like maybe it was watching like the 10 matches before me of people getting knocked out.
Yeah.
For her to realize like, oh, this is what Paige is doing.
Yeah.
Because I was surprised she wanted to go.
Yeah.
And she doesn't go to my fights. She doesn't really, she gets nervous. Of course she will if I want her there. She's, extremely supportive, but she doesn't go by choice. And she always likes to close her eyes and hide and like be in the back. But for this one, she's like, oh, this is so fun. And she was like so excited. I'm like, wow, you're really enthusiastic for me to just stand there with my hands behind my back and get slapped in the face. But she thought I was slapping Dana.
And what's funny is before you had went out, it must have been after a few of the matches had happened, and she was getting nervous because she walked out of the venue, and I think I was going to get a beer or something like
of
that.
Course.
And so I ran into her in the hallway, and I was like, okay, are you ready for this? And she looked like a ghost, like so white and so nervous.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know if I can watch this. And yeah.
No, I'm not sure. And now it makes sense to me because I was like, wow, you're really going to go? Like, that's crazy. Because this seems so much more intense as a parent to watch.
Yeah.
Like someone getting just absolutely decked in the face.
Than a fight. Yeah.
Than a fight. So I'm happy that she enjoyed it and I didn't just get flatlined in front of my mom.
I'm trying to think, going back to if things I would have known before we got married.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
If I would have stayed with you, and I'm trying to think, but I'm
lay
gonna
it out.
I'm gonna
tell the people.
I'm gonna get some.
Everybody talks about how lucky you are. You're so lucky. Paige is so cool.
I am. There's not a lot. I could do without the driving criticism, but
oh yeah.
But at the same time, you probably drive a little more than I do. So
yeah, my rims would say otherwise.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do a pretty good job at taking care of me.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
Yeah. That's so I don't really know if there's anything that jumps out per se. Early on in the relationship, you did have me kind of locked up a little bit. And
I do remember fights where like, I feel like a fucking prisoner.
I feel like a dog on a leash. Yeah. But
okay, so maybe I've gotten better.
You have
marriage.
You 100%.
I was that sneaky girlfriend when you would fall asleep and I would crawl on the floor over to your phone
and check my phone,
pull it down and go through it, see what you were up to.
Yeah, because we know each other's passwords.
Yes, early on we did.
Yeah. You
surprisingly didn't have a lot of incriminating stuff on there.
Yeah.
Maybe you've gotten good at deleting your search history, but I'm not totally sure.
No. I'm an open book.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah. We're pretty good. Okay, I have questions from fans, which of course are always fun. I'm sure there's going to be some more relationship stuff. I have some funny other stuff to talk about on here, but I think I'll save them for next time.
Okay.
Because they are a little bit different topics. I had talked about conspiracy theories again because
I know I want to do an episode where we get in because you were such a conspiracy
theorist. My gosh. We talked about it at one of the first episodes. Yeah. Conspiracy theories. Have you not been paying attention to what's going on in Egypt with the pyramids?
I did see something. I actually saw a post yesterday that now they think the pyramids are like underground. The pyramids are the top of
the structure. There are pillars. They've been able to scan to see that there's pillars that go thousands of feet deep underneath the pyramids. So there's multiple pyramids, right? So most of them are for like burials, and there's like, hieroglyphics. Or is it hieroglyphics?
Hieroglyphics.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. In these pyramids, and you can go inside, and there are tombs for pharaohs. Well, there is another one that is completely different, that is built with the exact same material today, or that we use today for electricity.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have
and all of these stones that were moved to Egypt, where they're located, the stone that they used to build them are from thousands of miles away.
So
how did they get it there?
So for me, I don't get too deep into any of this shit because it makes me think. It's probably a good thing. It makes me think more and question more things. But
you are a textbook overthinker.
I am an overthinker, and it'll just throw me into a loop. I had a period in college where I got like really into conspiracy theories and the Illuminati and shit like that, and it like fucked me up to the point where it's like I gotta stop talking or thinking about this stuff because I felt it. I felt my performance diminishing.
Really?
Yes.
I think it's so good. I think you should question absolutely everything.
Yeah. I like to just live life. And
well, of course, but like it's just good to have questions.
It is. But that's why we're a good team, because you take care of all that shit.
But have I finally convinced you that we did not go to the moon the first time?
Yes, you have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. I have switched your side.
Yeah. I do question that now.
What's funny though is I'll do like funny. This is how much of an overthinker you are. So we're laying in bed like 2 nights ago. Yeah. And I asked you a question. Gosh, what was it? I don't know. I asked you some sort of like trivia question.
Yeah.
And you aren't like, you don't like have fun and like throw. I'm like, just throw out a number. Just throw out a number. And you have to sit there and like you do this and you're thinking. You're like, okay, if there's this many months in the year, if there's this many days, this many hours.
You asked me how much was Alaska bought for and in what year?
I said, what year was Alaska purchased and for how much?
And I was close on the year.
You were close on the year. You were only 3 years off.
Yeah, I said like 1886 or something.
You were, yeah. And I think you were closer then, but than now. Anyways, so you're sitting there and you're just like thinking, you're like, okay, so if the land was sold for 20 cents an acre,
2 cents an acre.
Sold for 2 cents an acre, how many acres? And you just like sit there and think, which makes your questions pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
You are really close within the world.
I'm a critical thinker.
Yes. But you can't just be like, ooh, I think it was $20 million.
No. The other funny thing is, this is kind of inappropriate, kind of funny, but like I see the people up in space and I start thinking like, man, how do they masturbate in space? And like, what happens if they do? Because they're like going through the sleeping and they're just kind of like floating. I was like, how the fuck do you sleep? How do you do like,
you perv?
How do you do?
That's what you want to think about.
It's not that I don't. It's not that I want to think about it. It's just that's where my head. Yeah.
Okay, so I did see a funny reel someone made on like Instagram or TikTok. If it was like the husband, so it was just a man and a woman in space.
Oh wait, what? Oh, okay. Yeah. The ones who just got saved.
It was just a man and a woman. So they played this like this reel of like they pretended like the wife just getting home from space after being gone for almost a year, and the husband's like, so what did you do? It was just you and the one guy.
Yeah, I don't even know how that. Well, I mean, I guess it would work. You're just floating around, but I don't. Do you need gravity to get a boner?
No, I think the blood just rushes in.
Okay, yeah,
it might be better.
So. Maybe, yeah.
But there's no.
I guess the blood has to be flowing, or else you wouldn't.
You could
live.
Probably get into some more creative positions, but I think the basic ones would be a little bit more complicated because there's no gravity.
yeah. Anyways, kind of that's what I started thinking about with the
and I started thinking like, okay, so if they had wires attached to them, where would they hide them? And then I just kind of think that maybe the whole thing was filmed underwater, so it makes it look like they're floating.
Really? Like this latest space expedition?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
This one could be real.
Yeah.
This one could have been real.
Yeah. Well,
the first moon landing definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
You can't convince me.
You've got me on that too. I feel the same.
Okay, I have questions.
Okay.
Let's do fan questions.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to talk about conspiracy theories more.
No, I want to really dedicate episode on that.
Okay. I got stuff.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm really funny. Sometimes I'll see that stuff on Instagram, like the reels, like the Egypt stuff, and I send them to Joe Rogan because I want to get his thoughts on them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, did you see this? Like, you better talk about that.
He sees everything. Yeah.
You better talk about that in a podcast. Okay. Will we be attending any more Jags games?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, we'll see how the off season goes.
You can't be a hater.
Not a hater. I just they make some moves that I question. I really think that I should be in the front office of the Jags, but that's for another topic.
I think you should too.
Yeah.
And what would I be if I worked for the Jags? I want to be that dude that have you seen that on Instagram? There's a dude that just hands out gummy bears for the players. Yeah, you just go around the gummy bear guy.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
But yes, we will. We try to get to one Jag game a year.
Okay. Billy, what a wonderful question.
Oh,
Thank
boy.
you. We know Austin is the laundry bitch, but who changes the bed sheets?
Oh, yes.
Our cleaning lady.
We do have a lady. Though we did just do it like a month ago, and we did it together. She does it by herself. We did it together, and we're like, how the fuck does she do this? Because we have
we have an Alaskan king bed.
Yeah.
It's massive. It is huge. Between the two of us trying to change her duvet cover,
it's a workout.
It is a workout. So I want to go and film her when she switches our duvet cover because, oh my gosh, that is
it
brutal.
is not easy.
No, we are blessed and lucky enough to have someone who comes.
But yes, I am
twice a month.
I am the laundry bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which you've been falling off lately.
I have, but I did 2 loads yesterday. I folded 2 loads.
You didn't put them away.
But I didn't put them away.
They are in the laundry room. I knew you were going to
say that. Yeah.
All right. Favorite movie?
Yeah, favorite movie do you have?
I don't know. I change mine every day.
I'm not a big movie watcher.
I can be. Like, normally when people ask me that, I say Step Brothers because it's comedic. It's,
and it's easy.
Yeah. It's like an easy answer, and I do love that movie. But I do like more, I don't know if you could call Hannibal, like the Hannibal series is, or like the Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Are they analytical? I don't know. Silence of the Lambs.
I mean,
they make you think.
Yes.
I do love movies like that because they keep me locked in. I have a hard time at movies not like getting bored and playing on my phone.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
I really like to be locked in. Ooh, I have cute necklaces. Oh, hey. That's John Dotson's wife.
Oh, nice.
Hey. My necklaces, honestly, they're from Amazon.
Yeah.
All of them I get from Amazon. This one's an A for Austin.
Yep.
Or for awesome, because I'm super awesome. Let's see. Ooh. Why do people always want to ask when we have babies? We have 2 babies right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. We just got asked that yesterday too.
We do get asked when we're going to have kids a lot.
Which we are. We're going to have kids, but it's not the time yet.
This person hasn't been around for a long. Do you collect anything?
Oh, yeah. Cards. That's about it. Football cards.
Yeah. Obviously we collect like our fight memorabilia and our fight kits.
Yeah.
Which got to make a change to this one. I got to add your UFC debut.
Yep.
Next to mine.
Yeah.
So and then we'll move your fight with Fabian.
Yeah.
Over there somewhere. Will Austin be making another appearance on my OnlyFans?
Oh boy.
You got fans, babe.
Yeah, so I mean, I would say my hands get in a little more rubbing your feet
than your penis.
Yeah, let's go on to some OnlyFans stuff.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions, but I think a lot of people want to know like mostly your thoughts and like how you feel about it. And then 2, obviously, yes, you go to shoots, but they want to know if you go to all my shoots.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of gone on. I've talked about before. I think, for you, I think it's a way for you to, showcase like your feminine side and, feel beautiful and sexy and all that and stuff. And so, I mean, you've made me feel so comfortable. Now, you obviously don't do shoots with guys and stuff like that, other than me. But
other women, yes,
other women. So, yeah, like for me, it's not a big deal. It's like I relate a lot of it to in today's day and age, like social media and especially like female athletes showing off their sexy side and stuff like that. It's like, most of the stuff is on Instagram anyways. And if you scroll through Instagram, you see all this, you
see it all. Yeah.
Yeah. And not even just like influencers, but other female athletes and stuff.
Yeah. You
so
see
it's
a lot
like,
of girls on Instagram.
Yeah. But, so like, that's easy. Now, as far as like shoots go, I do attend. I would say the one thing though is like if you're gonna do it with other females, I try to be respectful because I don't want to make like the other female feel uncomfortable because I don't know if they have a significant.
You just like sitting in the corner.
No, I don't know if they have a significant other, and I know if the roles were switched and a husband of a girl you were shooting with was going and watch, I'd be like,
yeah. And I've actually texted you when I was shooting with girls and like their husband showed up and wouldn't leave. I would be like, hey, her husband's here and won't leave, and I feel weird.
Yeah.
And so I totally get that. So yeah, when I shoot with other females, you don't go.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes we'll do it at our house and you'll,
and I'll just kind of hang out. Yeah. Though we did.
Oh boy, are you going to tell this one?
Should I say this?
Yeah, it's your family.
So my dad was My dad was in town, and I think you were doing a shoot here.
Yes, which
something.
I have to schedule them out. You deal with photographer schedules, our schedule. So I really try to stay on top of it, especially because, I keep my content loaded. I want my fans to be happy. So when I have shoots, it's no canceling.
Yeah. So it just so happened my dad was in town, and you were doing a shoot. Let me get Jackie. Yeah, you were doing a shoot here at the house. So I was like, okay, Dad, we're just gonna like hang out
in the office.
In the office. and I could see him kind of side-eyeing trying to take a little peek.
Like, doing a little peek around the corner while I'm in the hot tub.
My dad's 76, Vietnam vet, motherfucker's seen it all, and
he's a man.
And so
getting my sexy on.
It was kind of like, okay, I didn't say anything to him. I was just like, whatever, Dad, I guess just do what you're gonna do. But,
well, what's my diet like? I look ripped.
This is so stupid.
I pay attention to my calories for the most.
Do you really?
Kind of. Yeah. I know if I eat naughty, I just eat less that day.
Yeah, this is true. So, I do know that.
If I say I'm going to have Panda Express, as I did the other day, I just ate Panda Express for the whole day.
Yeah, you don't eat anything until that.
No.
Yeah.
I know, like, if I'm going to spoil myself with something naughty, because I'm pretty good at if I can't eat, or if I'm like not supposed to, or if I'm dieting or cutting weight, I'm pretty good at just not eating.
Yeah.
But for my naughty days where I know for a fact I want something bad,
yeah,
I'll just not eat.
Yeah, but you could also, as long as you're working out, you could also eat like whatever you wanted to eat, and
for the most
still
part.
you still stay in good shape. I cannot do that.
Well, you're old though.
Oh, fuck you. I am not old. But honestly though, I've never been able to really do that. Like I've always had to eat really clean to stay in good shape and stuff.
Keep that sexy body.
But you're like this is kind of older, but DK Metcalf, he's a receiver, he just got traded to the Steelers. They were like, what's your diet like? And he's like, I usually eat like 4 or 5 bags of candy and then 1 meal or something. And this dude is like
just jacked,
unbelievably jacked. Yeah.
Well, that's like King Mo.
Yeah, King Mo.
But he has hyperthyroidism.
Yeah.
And so he eats whatever he wants, and he is just shredded.
Yeah, but King Mo eats good. King Mo is all about,
of course.
Yeah, he does. He's got a bunch of like fruit plants or fruit trees and stuff.
Yeah,
and eats a bunch of fruit plants.
A bunch of fruit plants.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a few more questions.
Okay.
Well, my diet, I'm ripped. I eat Panda Express. I'm completely honest with you. We do have a meal company that I mostly eat.
Yes. Yeah, you eat like half of it, and then I eat the other.
Exactly, and then I save room for Panda Express.
Yeah.
When are we going back to Ireland?
Oh, I would love.
We have some fans in Ireland that miss us.
As soon as Connor gets elected as president. Yeah, as soon as Connor is president of Ireland, we're going back.
So if he becomes president, can he like give us like green cards? Or can we have dual citizenship?
Probably not. I think he would get, he's got to be by the book. But it is interesting that so is he actually running for president?
He announced that he's running for president of Ireland.
Crazy.
And I, of course, pay attention to politics as well. So I was going on to see the comments just to see like how that people of Ireland feel about it. I would say they're pretty divided, honestly.
Really?
Which is, like most political stances like the United States. It's pretty much divided down the middle. I think from all the comments, they were divided down the middle. A lot of people were like, no, this is ridiculous, stupid, blah, blah, blah. But there was a lot of people who were like, yes, he speaks for the people of Ireland and everything that he's saying is factual and true. And so it was kind of cool.
And there's always something to be said. I mean, like our current president and stuff, guys who've done well financially or made good business choices and stuff, he obviously, for whatever your opinion is about Connor, he is a very smart individual, or else he wouldn't be in the position he's in
and
right
he
now.
would not be as successful as he is in business. There's a lot of like fighters and athletes who have had a tremendous success in their selective sports, but only if you have been able to actually transcend their space and become like true businessmen. And it's you got to be smart. And you know what, me and Connor, back in the day before he was as big as he is now, we were both sponsored by Reebok, and it was me, him, and John Jones at some photo shoot in New York. And we ended up going out to dinner with, I think it was Connor, his wife, their manager at the time, myself, and my managers. And sitting there and listening to him talk, I was like, dang, this dude's really smart. Like, he was just going off about business and the fight game and like advice. And I was like, wow, he really like, he's got it together. And then all of a sudden, you know, he took off and just became, or just blew up and transcended. And the other person who's like that, I think, I don't know if it's to a bigger scale, I would assume, but Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, Shaq.
Genius.
Yeah, he's got his hand in a lot of different.
I think he has a PhD.
Yeah, I believe so. I know he was gonna try to become a cop.
No,
too.
No. Okay, maybe that, but he actually does have this PhD. I was listening to one of his stories, and he goes on about how, you know, he did successful, and then his mom was saying like, oh, well, there's nobody in our family that's graduated from college, and he was like, okay, well, I'll be the first one. Goes, does that? And then his mom was like, well, we don't have anybody in our family who, you know, had either further education. Goes and gets his like PhD, or like continued on, and he goes to a speaking event at, I think, a university, and one of the professors walks up and he says, Dr. O'Neal, like, he says, nice to see you, Dr. O'Neal, and, you know, addressed him as doctor. And he, like, Shaq was saying how cool that was for his kids to see. Like, of course Shaq is cool, but knowing that their father is a doctor, and like how cool that is. So it was kind of a cool story. And then I'm like, I'm going back to college.
I know. Yes, you were talking about that.
I was talking about going to college for something.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, someone said, I just want to say you look really good in that. Thank you. I got a cute little outfit going on. Thanks. Amazon.
Kind. Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm really trendy. We were talking about that at the gym. Something about clothes, and I was like, oh yeah, I just buy all my stuff on Amazon.
Yeah.
They didn't believe me.
It's crazy.
Yep. Okay. Can we speak French? Unfortunately not.
No.
Let's see. Any more questions? A lot of these are pretty PG-13.
Yeah.
They want to see me in red lingerie. They want to know what color my toenails are.
The foot fans.
Yeah. They're strong.
Yeah.
They are going strong. Would we ever go to a nudist beach?
You just sent me one.
I did. I sent you a nudist
today.
There's one in Florida.
Yeah, I had looked up how far it was.
So, yes?
I don't know. I haven't ever been to a nude beach. I'm comfortable naked all the time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close up. Our dogs are getting a little bit rowdy.
Okay.
A few quick takes. UFC London recap. We kind of went over Sean Brady's win, and his performance. Molly McCann retired.
Oh yeah,
which is Meatball Molly. Gosh, when she was giving her like speech at the end when she was retiring, I started crying.
Did you?
Yes. I mean, I'm a fan of hers, and she's been incredible for the sport, and obviously has
for London, like for London, female,
for that whole area, for women fighters. She's just a fun personality, but just this speech, I was like, oh no, here I go. But I've been emotional lately too.
Yeah.
So obviously, congratulations to her on an incredible career and going into retirement. Of course, that's exciting in and of itself. Another chapter.
Yeah.
Talked dirty boxing. Do you have any fighters to watch for UFC Mexico?
Ooh, I gotta look at the card. I off the top of my head, I'm not really.
I got it right here for you.
Okay.
If you wanted to pick your standouts.
Yeah. Let me see it.
Obviously, we have. Okay, I'll let you go through.
Yeah. So we've got Brandon Moreno and Steve Ursig is the main event. Always love watching Drew Dober fight. He fights hard. Kelvin Gastelum, the Chiweenie, Raul Rosas is on it. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun card. I think there's, let's see. Yeah, I think the main event, definitely Brandon Moreno and Steve Ursig, will be a fun one. I'm interested in Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Pyfer.
Yeah.
Middleweight fight. Yeah, it honestly, especially at the Mexico City, like a lot of Mexican fighters, we know how hard they fight and how exciting,
how much heart they have. You can just anticipate it being you can expect it to be a really good card.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a fun card. So yeah, is that this weekend?
Full of heart. That's this weekend. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
So that's a really fun one. We kind of talked to Conor McGregor running for president.
Yeah.
Talked OnlyFans shoots. Yeah, I think we covered everything we kind of had for today.
Yeah. All right.
I know. So next week, I would love to have some guests on.
Yeah.
As much as I love talking to just you.
Yeah, you're okay to talk to.
You're right.
Yeah. But
next week, we'll bring some fans on. We got some power slappers that want to come on. Cool. Maybe some people from American Top Team or people here in Florida. One of my photographers, Mike Tang and his girl, orangutan.
Yeah.
Incredible photographer in the area. They would love to come on and talk some more relationship stuff. They have a really fun relationship. So
yeah. All right. Well, close us out.
That was a kick-ass love story. Your host, Austin Vanderford.
Yeah.
Paige Van Zant are two naughty puppies who were not very good kids today.
No.
A little rambunctious. Check us out on Spotify, Apple, OFTV, Deezer, iHeartRadio, anywhere you get your podcasts every Wednesday at 12. Put your questions in the comments and maybe we'll do another Q&A and get some more long form answers for you.
All right.
We're out. We got striking practice next.
Oh.